Thanks, Dr. Wheeler.
That's all right.
We're all done.
Yes.
How did things stack up?
Okay, so going through your numbers and checking them. So look, at the moment your blood pressure's 2 target, so your blood pressure's 126/80,
Okay.
which is good. So we prefer your systolic blood pressure to be around the 120s, definitely under sort of the 135 mark at rest, so that you've got to sort of tick for that.
Good.
Your resting pulse rate is 86, which is to target, so that's quite good. One thing I always say is usually as cardiovascular fitness increases, we find your resting pulse rate goes down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next 20 weeks with that as well. Your height and weight, are you happy for me to say that?
Yeah, go.
Height and weight, so you've got you're 185 centimetres tall and 90 kilograms. So it puts your BMI at 26. So ideally that's a little bit sort of higher than the perfect target.
Yeah.
But one thing we always talk about with BMI is we take it with a grain of salt. So we always take into account, particularly for men, you know, if you've got sort of more muscle bulk or a larger sort of skeletal frame, that can sort of contribute to that as well.
Okay.
So one thing that's a very good indicator for future cardiovascular risks, so that's the risk of heart attacks and strokes down the track, is really abdominal fat. So I always say a very good sort of quick check is if you stand side on in the mirror, if you've got a sort of belly hanging over, that's definitely something that you should be working on in terms of reducing that cardiovascular risk.
Well, we might put that up later on.
Yes, so I'll leave that one with you. Perfect. Otherwise, everything else sort of on your examination, your chest is clear, your heart sounds a jewel, and your heart rate is regular, so that's all very good.
Excellent.
The next step from here is to organise the blood test. So mainly checking for, your blood count, your kidney and liver function, your cholesterol. We like to break down the good and bad cholesterol and the fats as well, and also sort of check for sort of the diabetes test as well. So we'll put all that on the blood test too.
Okay, terrific. Excellent. And so before I kick off into some exercise, like anything I need to look out for, or
anything you need to look out for? Yes, so certainly, as we spoke before about going into different activities, listening to your body, easing into everything as well. Certainly reporting back if you're having any sort of pains, aches and strains. And obviously a really important thing to focus on, particularly when we talk about weight, is diet is actually a huge part of it. Probably more a part of it for most people than exercise. So there's sort of two sides to it as well, and there's lots of support that sort of the GP can give in regards to advice about diet, but there's sometimes if you're having any issues, we can sort of even refer on to more support through to the dietitians and things as well. So it's always important to look at both sides of the coin for sure.
Excellent. Terrific. Thanks very much.
Not a problem.